Hi, I'm Dr. Craig Chalquist. This is the first of a short series of videos on the need for practical visions of how to live and where to go and how to govern in the USA. So I want to start with an example. The current crew of the ship of state, which instead of being the RMS Titanic is now the USS Titanic, is plunging full speed ahead with their program, sailing us recklessly through a thick fog. And one might ask, are they going to warn us about the dangers ahead? Are they making sure there's enough lifeboats for everybody? Are they going to sound the alarm? No. So what they're doing is instead is they've lashed the wheels so that it can't be turned. They have made sure that the passengers are split into different factions fighting with each other while the ship plunges into danger. And they're going around the ship making sure that all references to icebergs have been deleted from the signage and literature. The previous crew also ignored the iceberg, and they went around telling us that we should all be nice and that they were going to make the voyage cheaper. They didn't say anything about where we're headed together or even why. So for a long time now, there has been no real national vision, no inspiring vision of where we should head together. None. There has been a lot of disparagement of imagination itself, which is the source of these kinds of visions. Oh, visionary stuff is impractical. It's nonsense. We need to deal with the day-to-day things. Hard to deal with the day-to-day things when you're headed in the wrong direction, and we have been for a long time. So there's an old saying from the Bible, when there is no vision, the people perish. It can also be translated as, when there is no vision, the people run wild. So I would argue there's so much to be done right now, so many things that need to be done. I would argue that what we need is to collaborate on where we want to go. One more word, too, about institutions that are now being ransacked and destroyed. I, like a lot of other people, actually have a certain sympathy with the impulse behind that, however destructive it is. And I don't see resurrecting broken institutions as any kind of a realistic goal, let alone a visionary one. And, I've been in so many different corporate and higher ed meetings that exemplify exactly what's wrong with the current structures. Here's an example. I've been in countless meetings like this. So you're in an administrative committee, and they decide we're going to have a party. So let's notify the students and the faculty and everybody, staff. Right. So then somebody says, but wait a minute. So the theme of this party is celebrating everyone, but that's going to land differently with different groups of students. So we need to decide on several emails. But wait, we need some kind of a task force to oversee how to collect the information, which means we also need focus groups. But wait, we need a committee to oversee the task force to blah, 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 blah. And so your 5-minute meeting is just turned into 2 hours of nobody wants to be there and everybody leaves with 10 times as much useless, pointless work, okay? So there are times when I come out of meetings like that and I'm like, where's my lighter? So I get it. However, there's also something that I'm aware of, which in philosophy is called Chesterton's fence. And that looks like this. So you're out hiking and you come across this rickety old fence that's in your way, so you kick it out of the way, right? What you don't realize is that rickety old fence serves several important purposes. It stops animals from eating poison plants. It marks an important boundary between properties. It has historical value. It does about a dozen things that you're not aware of. So by visioning together, we avoid the extremes of blowing stuff up that serves vital existing purposes, serves people who need services on the one hand, and keeping the old crappy stuff that doesn't work well on the other. So another way of saying this is that it's a time of redesign. It's a time where our imaginations need to expand instead of contracting, where we need to harness our idealized impulses instead of just saying idealization of that kind is nonsense, ideals are nonsense, we just need to get practical. One of the most damaging things about broken systems is that they convince people that better dreams are impractical. So more about that in the next video.